Good morning. Welcome to the Clueless Luthier. I am Mark, and today I'm going to get started on my wife Jen's new bass guitar. I'm actually going to start on the neck. First thing I'm going to do this morning, maybe the only thing I do this morning, but the first thing I'm going to do this morning, for sure, is I'm going to make a scarf joint. I've done this before on another guitar, so I might breeze through it a little bit quicker. So let's get started. I fastened the neck onto this jig I built, and the idea is just going to feed it through and cut a 15. Yeah, I gotta adjust that. A 15-degree angle on this, but I'm going to go suit up and then I'll start cutting it. Okay, so what I have to do, this is going to end up going together like this. But first I have to make... Well, apparently my GoPro decided to quit working, so moving on. So I'm going to put medium viscosity 8 super glue, CA glue here, and this is the easiest way of doing this. Probably like this. No, like this. Make sure they're lined up well. Then what I'm going to do is take a plane of sandpaper and make this as flat, just totally flat. So then when I flip it around to glue it, it matches up well. Okay. Okay, now to get reoriented. All right, I have this piece all set. It is going to go here. This is here to act as a stop. I drew this line to get it just about to know where this reaches to for gluing purposes. This is clamped down. Got a couple of holes. Time to glue. Let's see. So that'd be easier like this. I don't know. So I had to abandon that and start over. I didn't get it videoed. I should watch my own videos. actually, sometimes. It's been a while since I did this. I really needed this clamp to hold it in place. Even with this here, I'm not a big fan of these clamps, but anyway, but it was pushing. It was, with pressure, it was sliding this way and up. So by putting this, clamping this down in place, I kept that here, it held everything while I tightened up all the other clamps. So this is glued up, and I'm probably just gonna leave this overnight now. So I'll be back. Let's see what we got here. It slipped a little bit. I can tell right there, that much. Doesn't matter. Actually, no. Okay. Doggone. What I'm gonna have to do, I'll be thinning this down anyway. Yeah. I just have to take this part down so it's flush, which is unfortunate because I'm just gonna have to be careful. All right, I have to figure out why that's happening. That's the first time I've had that particular problem. So, anyway. All right, I have this nice and flat now. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and put the truss rod channel in first. And then I'm going to put in some carbon fiber channels. But next, I'm going to suit up. So I have this the way I want it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a channel in this carbon fiber rod on each side. I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch of wood and then put the rod in all the way through. So let's do that. All right, this isn't too thick. This is old. It's epoxy. I am going to epoxy the carbon rods, fiber rods. Okay. That took a bit. Now, what is the easiest way? It's a little small. A little bit thick. Start with one. Yeah, that's just one. And over there. Pull some of that in. I'm going to do more for the next one. I can add to this. All right, rinse and repeat. All right, I added more epoxy from the top, squeegeed it in, put some wax paper down, and I've got this board clamped on it just to make sure that it's sitting tight to the bottom and flush with the top. So we're gonna let that set up. All right, this is all glued in. I cleaned it up a little bit. I'm not sure how much more I'll bother. Now I just have to cut the carbon fiber rods off. And well, the next thing I was going to do is slot my fretboard. One note, I had to actually, while we're talking about it, whoops. I actually had to shorten this just slightly because the fingerboard I bought was just a little short. So I just had to shorten the neck a little bit. But no harm, no foul. So the next thing is, before I start shaping this, I need to put the frets in to keep them perpendicular. But that doesn't fit, so I'm going to go ahead and I figured out how much I can take off, and that'll give me some future binding or something. So first thing I'm going to do is rip this on the bandsaw. Okay, this fits nicely now. Now I do this to be more accurate. I measure this in millimeters, and so here I have a chart. The fret, the inches from the nut, which is just basically the end of the fretboard in this case, and then the millimeters. This is what I'm really going to be using, just for more accuracy. Otherwise you could get incremental mistakes if you go fret to fret. This way, it just ends up a lot closer. I'm not using that. I'm going to go 40.767, as close as I can do to that. So that is 46.7 plus, right about there. And I don't think this is the right pencil to do that. Here we go. Just to highlight it, little white pencil lead. I'll do a few of these. I think maybe 3 at a time. That's what I did last time. 79 point, basically 2.5. 79 and a quarter. As close as I can get it. That's not gonna work. 115 and about 0.6. 115. Let's see. Actually, I can do it pretty darn good. I'll do a few more actually. Oh, does that look right? Nope, I think I did that wrong. I did. Back off. 15.6. Yes, back here. Okay, let's do these first. In order to keep this from moving, what if that'll reach? I think it will. Yeah, maybe. All right. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. I've got it, the most important thing is I have the slot. Once I get this sanded and radius, I may have to come back and make those deeper, but at least the position is all set. Move on to the next one. All right, so I have all the slots in. I had one off here I actually had to fix, and I didn't film it. I was a little engrossed, but I think that'll cover up. We'll see. It slid over somehow, and I had to put in some black super glue and then sanded to get that in covered. We'll see what happens once I radius it. I may have to do more work on it, but okay. Well, the next thing to do is to cut these to shape, but that's going to happen after lunch or later. All right. So what I'm doing, I have my template here, making sure it's centered. Kind of difficult on this one. Looks good. Here, let me do this. Yeah, that looks good. All right, I have my white sewing pencil here. And so I can see it on this black wood. Okay, now I'll take this to the bandsaw, and I'm not going to cut totally on the line. I'm going to leave some space, but we'll do that next. My initial plan was to use the template and a guided router bit to take this off. I got a little nervous, but then I also realized the bit I have isn't going to work. It's too deep. So I'm a little better, feel a little more confident starting with this, getting it close, and then I'll use sandpaper for the rest. See, by doing this, this keeps it nice and straight, and I can see the white line I drew. And we'll just take it slow. All right, so the fretboard's all made. That was a lot of work. This stuff's hard. A lot of sanding, but I wanted to make sure it was nice and smooth. There'll be more sanding to do. The next thing, as far as the fretboard, is always kind of a fun part for me. Well, when it goes well, is to put in the inlay. And so I've worked on a special inlay for Jen. So come back and see what it looks like.